Breaking news. Welcome to today's headlines. Nnamdi Kanu rejects federal government plan to try him secretly. Heads to court. Nnamdi Kanu rejects federal government plan to try him secretly. Heads to court. To my dear listeners, from wherever you're listening from, please stay tuned as I read today's news. Nnamdi Kanu, leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, has rejected plans to try him secretly. To my dear listeners, from wherever you're listening from, please stay tuned as I read today's news. He has gone to court to challenge the practice direction of the Federal High Court, which ordered that his trial should be done in secret. He asked the court to declare that the provisions of Order 3 of the Federal High Court Practice Directions on Trial of Terrorism Cases 2022 were already the subject of Section 36, 4A and B of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, and consequently, they are obtuse, inoperative, and outrightly ultra-vires. Kanu, in the origination summons filed by his lawyer, Ifeanyi Ejiofor, asked the court to declare it invalid, null, void, and of no effect whatsoever. The Chief Judge of the Federal High Court, Justice John Itoho, and its Chief Registrar were listed as defendant in the suit, which processes were obtained by journalists on Monday. Justice John Itoho had released a new practice direction for the trial of terrorism cases before the court. The cases of Nnamdi Kanu, Bureau de Change, operators indicted over sponsorship of terrorism, and Boko Haram, suspects are currently before the court. Justice Itoho said the new practice direction was in the exercise of his constitutional powers as enshrined in Section 254 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended. Under the new arrangement, the court said, media coverage of proceedings is strictly prohibited. Coverage of proceedings under this practice direction is strictly prohibited, save as may be directed by the court. A person who contravenes an order or direction made under these practices shall be deemed to have committed an offense contrary to Section 34(5) of the Terrorism Prevention Act 2011 as amended, the document stated. The IPOB leader also wants an order of perpetual injunction restraining the defendant, whether by themselves, servant, agent, privates, and all other officers and agents of the Federal High Court of Nigeria, from applying and enforcing the provisions of the Federal High Court Practice Directions on Trial of Terrorism Cases 2022. Others' reliefs were a declaration that the failure of the first defendant to first seek and obtain the approval of the Federal Executive Council or the National Council of Ministers of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, prior to enacting the Federal High Court Practice Directions on Trials of Terrorism Cases 2022 as required by Section 44 of the Federal High Court Act, renders the Federal High Court Practice Direction on Trial of Terrorism Cases 2022 ultra vires null and void. A declaration that Order 3 Rules 3B and D of the Federal High Court Practice Directions on Trials of Terrorism Cases 2022, which respectively empower a Federal High Court trying terrorism cases to receive evidence by video link and to receive written disposition of expert witness, are inconsistent with items 23 and 68 of the exclusive legislative list, as well as paragraph 2b of part 3 of the second schedule of the Constitution, which confers on the National Assembly the executive power to make rules of evidence, both substantive and adjectival, are therefore ultra vires null and void to the extent of the inconsistency. A declaration that Order 4, Rule 2 of the Federal High Court Practice Direction on Trial of Terrorism Cases 2022, which provides that a person who contravenes an order or direction made under these directions shall be deemed to have committed an offense contrary to Section 34(5) of the Terrorism Prevention Act 2011 as amended, isothios and inoperative because the National Assembly had already covered the field via Section 34(5) of the Terrorism Prevention Act 2011 as amended. To my dear listeners, now we've come to the end of our today's news. Please do drop by at the comment section and let's know what your view is all about. Thank you for listening.